Hello, everyone, and welcome to the electronic scoreboard for America's Pastime Baseball. And this is an electronic scoreboard I created to use with the National Pastime and APA-centric sports games. I know there's quite a few different charts out there. There's the DeVal charts, the Moore charts, the Skeeter Soft charts, and a variety of other charts that are being used to play these national pastime centric games, APA and Skeeter Soft and National Pastime Next Generation. So what I've set out to do is create the seasons from 1954 up to 2021, and I'm getting there in a methodical fashion. But I don't want to recreate the game, but what I am doing here is creating a way to supply, using my formulas and algorithms and functions, a way to provide play result numbers and a floating, kind of a floating grade system with weighted randomness to it to kind of create a little dynamic way of playing the game and getting different grade systems in use instead of always being B. McNally will kind of float up to A and down to C occasionally. You'll see that happen. So each pitcher has like a baseline grade, but like I said, it's kind of a floating thing, and the formulas and algorithms will assess whether it's the same-sided batter or if it's a righty-lefty matchup versus the ERA and the win percentage of the pitcher, and create a weighted random number as well and create this floating grade system. Each at-bat, the batter, you'll be supplied a play result number, and you use your favorite chart of whatever chart system you want to use to play the game. So I've already loaded the 1970 Orioles, and we'll load up the 1970 Reds. Not looking to create a winning lineup. I'm just trying to load a lineup as quickly as I can here. And then we'll kind of go through a playthrough, show you how it works. And I'm not really sure what I have here, so I'm hoping to get some feedback and comments to kind of see exactly what I do have here. And of course I have to select the position first. And the DH will be Hal McRae. Pitcher will go with Gary Nolan. And so both lineups are selected, and we'll play ball. So it's my typical functions for my scoreboards. And this, of course, will provide you the scoring system, a simple box score. There's a broadcast system that uses your computer's voice synchronization, text to voice synchronization system to announce the game. I've turned that off. Stadiums are available. And Memorial Stadium is right here. And if we wanted to play in Cincinnati, there's lots of stadiums. Let's say Crosley Field even. So basically for each at-bat, a PRN is supplied, a play result number, and you'll notice the pitcher's grade system may change for each at-bat. Gary Nolan has a Y, throws right, age 22 in 1970 with an 18-7 record. Shows the batter's face, and this is how you reset to change pitchers. The scoreboard also provides who's on what base over here, so you can advance the runners, and you can see their fielding ratings that I use utilizing my grading system, my algorithms, and my formulas. So first batter is Brooks Robinson, and the scoreboard allows you to keep a simple box score, but obviously he has a 0. So when you get a 0, you want to go to the second column. You just want to click again and get a fresh roll and then look at the second column. So he has a 0, so we'll get a second roll, and it's a 6 for a double. So it's a leadoff double for Brooks Robinson. Now Boog Powell is a single column card, so you only get one number when it's a single column card, and that's a fly out to left field. And I'm going to bring up my DeVal charts. a 10 against a B on second base. And that will be a single, runner to third, fast scores. Brooks Robinson's actually slow. So that's a first and third situation. Notice Gary Nolan just went to an A and C for this at-bat, and it's a 14, and that will load the bases. And then we have a 30, and the left fielder is a 2 with bases loaded. And that will be fly out, runners hold, fast scores. Again, Brooks is slow, so it's a fly out. So there's 2 outs in the inning. Paul Blair got a 0, so we'll roll again to get the second number, the second column number, and it's a 6. So there is it bases clearing? Runners advance 2 bases with 2 outs, all runners score. So there's a double, and all runners scored. So we'll score Davey. That's a quick 3-0 lead. And there's a walk to the blade, and Elrod Hendricks is a 36, first and second. This should be interesting. First and second, that's a pass ball, runners advance 1. So we'll get a new roll. And that's an 8 against an A on second and third. And that is no change, so it's a single. Runner scores, slow is out at home, Blade is not slow, so they both score. So it's a big inning to start the first inning, and then we have a 33. Gary Nolan does have a Y. Let's see if that's a strikeout, and that is not, that's a pop out. So after one, I automatically hit pop out for the first batter. So after one inning, the Orioles got 1. So you can see that there's a 9 for Tony Perez against an A would be a ground out. A 13 is a strikeout, and Brooks is up to start the second. That's a ground out. Boog Powell against an A, that's a single, and there's a double play, ground out double play to second base. Brings up Johnny Bench in the bottom of the second. It's an 8 against an A, and that'll be a fly out or pop out to third base. And that's a ground out for Lee May, and 35 will be a pop out to the catcher. Davey Johnson gets a 0. So we look at the second column, and it's a 1. There's a home run. Okay, so if we want to replace a pitcher who's having trouble, as Gary Nolan is today, we click here, and we go to 1970. We go to the Reds, and we go to the pitchers, and we'll select Pedro Borbon. Let's see. He's a D. So kind of show you how that works even. He's already gotten a float up to C against a righty, Frank Robinson, with a 7, and that'll be a base hit. Paul Blair with a 31 will fly out. And then we have an 8 against a C with a run on first, and that'll be a single. And the runner will go to third unless he's slow, and he's not, so that's a single, and Frank will advance to third. Then we have a 27 with 1 out. So the third baseman, using the DeVal charts, is a 3, which does not bode well. And they will be playing in. First and third, 27 in, out at first. 1 scores, other to second. And Y is a strikeout. So it's a ground out. He scores, and he goes to second. And then we have a fly out to center field for Ellie. We go to the bottom of the third. Bernie Carbo is a single column card. You can see Dave McNally went up to the A grade for this matchup. They're both lefties. And it's a 31 is a fly out, no matter how you look at it. 2 column card, 35 is a pop out to the catcher. And a single column card, Hal McRae grounds out to second base. I'm sorry, flies out to right field. So that's the gist of this thing. You get all the functionality of the scoreboard. You can see the runners, get the score, the box score, the stadiums, the broadcast. You just have to supply the charts you want to use and how you want to play the game. So what I'm offering, and let me just show you the other thing first. The other way to play, sometimes I'd like to do it this way. I'm going to click on this little icon down here. Is I just want to see the cards. I don't want to mess with the scoreboard or keep a box score. So I can just go through the cards, and this kind of works great. You just click on this to advance the batter. So you're not keeping a box score or anything. We're just running through the batters by clicking on the batter card. And you get your play result number. You do whatever, you keep your score on your desktop or however you want to do it. And just whenever it's 3 outs, you just go to the pitcher and flop the sides. The Orioles are now on the field. Pete Rose is up. He has a 0. Click again, look at the second column, and he's just hit a double. So then you just go to the next batter. With Pete on second base, you keep your score on your notepad, on your desktop or whatever. And there is a 22. And you would, for instance, with a runner on second, a 22 is catcher, and Ellie is a second column. Runner steals third, slow holds. And you can even use the base running situation. Since Pete Rose went to second, you can put him on third with the steal that we just got on that PRN of 22. Or you can just keep it on your score pad on your desktop. And then you would need a new number, and it's a 33. So a 33 with a runner on third is a pop out. Y is a strikeout. So you just go to the next batter. And you just go through until you get 3 outs, switch the field, and then you have the other team at bat. And it just takes up right where it left off. So this way, you just look at the cards and these little helper things on the side that shows that you can use for base running if you want. Now, it will not keep a box score while we're in this mode. I like using this mode though for instance, on my iPad. I do that, and you can see how I can just click here and go through the batters, click on the pitcher to flop the sides, and I can even zoom in if I want to see the cards more clearly. So that's how that works for me. And while you're in that mode, what I was going to say is that it does not keep score. And I'll fix that with these cards moving around between modes. They do correct themselves at the top of the inning. But it will not keep a box score while we're in that other mode, because basically you're not putting the inputs in for what the result was. You're just basically, when you click here, when you go into the other mode, you're just basically viewing the cards, and you're not putting in the results. And you're keeping the score on your desktop or whatever, however you want to do it. But you're being supplied the play result number and utilizing the floating grade system. So you can see that Pedro Borbon came in as a D, and he went up to a C for this at-bat. And for the next at-bat, he is still a C, and now he's back to a D. And he's a C, D, D, C, D. And you can see how that went. And McNally's baseline is a B. You can see he went down to a C against Johnny Bench in this matchup. He's still a C for Lee May. He's back to B. He went up to A for Bernie Carbo for that matchup. So you can kind of see how that works. So that's basically what I got here, folks. I just wanted to kind of share it and try to get some feedback on what you guys think. And the scoreboard, if everyone that's used it before would already know, it provides the box score with the ability to export it at the end of the game. When you hit Q on the keyboard, it quits the game, and then you can export it to Excel. So that's just a quick down and dirty look at where I'm at on this thing. And basically, I would provide, if I went forward with something like this, I would provide a website to whoever wanted to purchase something like this for 10 or 20 bucks. You would get